Philippine Ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez. Thank you, sir, for joining us from Washington. Sir, simulan ko muna po sa katatapos lang na inauguration ni US President Donald Trump. What was the highlight for you?
Course, the most striking one is obviously the one that will affect many of our kababayans, which is the immigration policy that he says that he will implement on day one, which he already did. No? So that is the main issue that I think that all of us here, or at least the Philippine Embassy and our consulates are concerned about, of which we are obviously prepared to do what we can to help our fellow citizens. Of course, the other thing that that gave us pause is the potential tariffs that may be because to me the economic part of our relationship is going to be the challenge. But so far, I think we seem to be in good shape. On the defense side, I had no doubt about it because we have a very strong support coming from Republicans and also the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, together with the National Security Advisor and many others around the president's team.
First off, the immigration policy, how ready are we or the Philippine government, for instance, in supporting the Philippines or Filipinos who may be affected by the stricter immigration policies of US President Trump?
Well, my main concern, as I said, is that they're going to obviously go after those that are undocumented. Marami tayong mga kababayan that are here that have as we call them, the TNTs. No? Ngayon, we want to make sure that those that have been here already for such a long time, maybe 5 years or more, I'm sure that there is a legal path. After consulting with some of the PhilAm lawyers who came forward to volunteer to help our fellow citizens, we're going to try to gear them to try to help them in being able to spell out what are their rights. However, those that have been here just recently, yung mga dumating dito on a tourist visa at nag-expire na, it's best for them to think about really leaving already para ganun para hindi sila masali do sa mga list of those that will be potentially deported, or pag nakalista ka na that you're overstaying. Marami naman may alam niya na the minute you overstay, naka-record na yan. So when you apply for a new visa, they immediately sometimes you still have a valid visa. They are already telling you that they're canceling your visa for overstaying in the United States.
Sir, how about the issue of birthright citizenship? How concerning is this for you, sir?
Definitely it will affect them. But right now it seems to be in limbo because there's already been a suit that has been filed by more than 20 states. And I think there is already a restraining order coming from a federal judge na hindi pwedeng i-implement yan dahil it's part of the Constitution. Pero whatever it is, hindi tayo pwede makialam yan because that is internal with the United States. What we can do is, of course, make sure that those that are here undocumented but are giving birth, is that they be given a chance to present themselves in court. Yan ang pwede nating gawin dyan. Pero again, itong issue na yan is a very controversial one.
You've also mentioned about tariffs kung saan nga po nagpataw si US President Trump sa Mexico, Canada, and China. Ano po ang posibleng epekto naman ito, sir, sa Pilipinas?
Yeah, the tariffs, definitely. Well, the tariffs is because of the fact that if alam mo, what we're doing, we have our balance of trade with the United States is not very big, so we will not be directly affected by this. But from what I am being told by some of our friends in the economic world, is that a high tariff for China may have a ripple effect with other countries as well.
Recently, US State Secretary Marco Rubio spoke with Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, and they reaffirmed the ironclad alliance of the Philippines and US. How significant is this conversation, sir?
Well, definitely. It only shows that we're being given importance by the fact that Secretary Rubio made it a point. He called many other foreign ministers of other countries, but the Philippines is one of on the top of the list. Well, the main point is that he assured Secretary Manalo of the alliance, and that their concern for Chinese incursions into our territory is a paramount importance for the United States, and that we will continue to expand our alliance in terms of defense and also even on the economic front, which is very, very encouraging. So yan, maganda yan. And also yesterday, I brought Secretary Teodoro to the White House, where we had a meeting with National Security Advisor Mike Walsh. And then subsequently, we had a longer meeting with Deputy National Security Advisor Alex Wong. So that was a good meeting that we had. Obviously, we talked about the security matters and our alliance again.
And there are many indications na magtutuloy-tuloy po ang samahan ng Pilipinas in terms of defense and security.
Absolutely. Everything will remain as it is. Because, you see, I've said that this several times. It is not as if it's a one-way street. The United States needs the Philippines because of our geographical location. We need the United States at this time because of our mutual defense treaty to be able to repel these incursions that are happening in our waters. But the most important one is that many countries, of which we have also agreements or alliances, want to make sure that the Indo-Pacific region, specifically the South China Sea, remains free and clear from any kind of harassment or that it is controlled by any one country. The presence of the United States is very important, and it is also important for the United States to be around because trade in this particular area, we talk about trillions of dollars.
Ambassador, how close are we in setting up a physical meeting between President Trump and President Bongbong Marcos?
We're working on that one. President Marcos, when he spoke to President Trump after the elections, congratulated him, indicated that he would like to have a meeting right away as soon as possible. And President Trump responded positively and said, as soon as I'm in the White House, we'll start working on having a meeting. So that is at the plate right now. And it may be sooner or later, but it will happen definitely.
Ambassador, other topic naman po na pag-uusapan din ngayon yung deployment or changing of position ng US Typhon missile na nasa Pilipinas. But China is saying that this is dangerous and Manila should pull out this missile system. Ano po ang reaction nyo dito, sir?
No, definitely in fact, we should get more of them. More of these Typhoon missiles because it is for our defense. Hindi naman offensive, that is not an offensive type of weapon. It is actually more for defense because it's short range or medium range. It's not the long range. Yung long range na aabot sa China, yun, you can call that an offensive one. Pero this is really to defend ourselves. No country has any right to tell us what we can do and what we can use. And this is a very useful tool or a useful weapon for our defense down the road.
And hindi naman po nagpunta si Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro sa Washington para bumili na po ng mga ganitong missile system.
Hindi pa. Pero we've already indicated that nandiyan na yun, nakasalang na yan sa Pentagon. And so people in the Pentagon that are going to be in charge of the policies and also even in the actual alliance, the foreign military financing program, they are well aware of what we need. No? Tsaka the good thing is many of those that are very I wouldn't want to call it pro-Philippines, but pro-alliance and strong support for keeping the South China Sea, the freedom of navigation, and all of these things free. That will be. We have friends in the Pentagon and the people that will be joining the Trump administration.
And last question, Ambassador, yung reports po about the presence of foreign espionage operations. How concerning is this for you, sir?
Are definitely potential spies, sleepers that are going into our country. And that's why I suggested to Secretary Teodoro that we have to have a task force to be sure to and monitor any potential problems that we may have. You know, all of us should be well aware that we are really facing a very formidable opponent or somebody that is really sad to say, they don't have very good intentions on many of the things that are being done to us. So all citizens, all Filipino loving those who love our country must immediately report if they see anything that is really unusual from any foreigner, especially those that we feel are detrimental for our national security. Kailangan magtulungan tayo dyan.
And just to be clear, yung task force that you are thinking of ay hindi naman po nakadirect lang sa isang bansa like China. Hindi
All
targeted.
countries doesn't necessarily mean that just China. If these people are Chinese citizens, obviously it could be the Chinese. But if they could be operating for other countries, we don't know. But spying in other countries is something that has been happening for many decades now. The United States is definitely one of those that have had spies. The United States have their own spies. They spy in other countries as well. So it's just a natural part of defense, whatever you want to call it. We have our own spies too. We have our own CIA, so to speak. So we have to do that because this is to defend our country from any potential danger.
Maraming salamat, Philippine Ambassador to the US Jose Manuel Romualdez. Sir, thank you for granting NewsWatch Plus this interview. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tristan Nodalo.